Good afternoon, everyone. Good morning, depending upon where you are. I'm Joseph Shibire. So today we'll be presenting about the Copernicus Global Launch Water Quality Products that are now available via the Africa platform. And this was prepared initially in collaboration with my team, especially with Kenneth Mubeya, who is in charge of product development within our program. So as you all know, the Africa has been there uh, to provide public infrastructure that's freely accessible for several analytics using alpha data sets that you can kind of maximize the profit from all those data sets. And now we are providing African governments the flexibility to African data sets to foster initiatives related to climate change and adaptation and mitigations, food security, and um, SDG in general. We receive several data from space agencies as providers. We prepare them in an SDG format, and through an open data key, you can access all those services and datasets at continental level. Our datasets are hosted in South Africa, in the Cape, on AWS servers, and we thank all our partners across the globe uh, with whom we collaborate to co-develop products and services, but also make sure that they are reaching out to several users across the continent. So our infrastructure is very continental, and it's a way of democratizing EU data sets across the continent. And it is an open platform where you can access specific satellite images, especially with the medium resolution, which in most of the times are freely accessible. And so we are using an open data keep technology where you can access to our datasets for a specific region or area of interest. We work on the cloud. We have enough cloud computing space for someone who like to use our platforms. And of course, you know that we should diversify interfaces because some people are familiar with the classic softwares, others who prefer the cloud computing, or others would maybe prefer some exploratory uh, platforms. And of course, we have an e-learning platform uh, that keeps you with all necessary knowledge to deal with your datasets. And of course, we can explore dataset you have. You can use the sandbox to do your cloud computing stuff, but also you can use the map just to explore what is existing and also do some similar detection and even exchange links with your group. So we are trying to develop the continental wide uh, services. This is the example of GeoMats, but we should listen to partners to know the needs of our customers, our partners, even our end users. We can also always consult communities and we try to build the capacity. And of course, we could design solutions, which you can say African homegrown solutions to monitor some phenomena across the continents. And of course, we are trying to contribute to SDGs, whereby we are contributing the quantification of some indicators, but also informing several policies and initiatives across the continent. This is some We have some of the examples of our continental services, especially the water observations from space, the functional cover, the water bodies monitoring system, the cropland extent, the coastal geomats, and many others, just to uh, understand the dynamics of the continent and also to inform several decisions to address social, economic, environmental changes across the continent. But today we talk about lake water quality, but why is that a problem? You know, a lake has some characteristics where the physical chemical conditions and also the biological conditions. Among the physical chemical parameters we can mention the soft oxygen and the nutrients that should refer to the level of electrification of the lake, the chlorophyll-a that indicates the concentration in algae, the transparency and turbidity that indicates the number of particles, uh, the pH that shows the level of acidity or basicity on the water, but also the temperature that is influenced by both climatic conditions, but also some other biotic and the abiotic factors within our lakes. The biological indicators, there are some living organisms, including algae and flora, aquatic flora and fauna, kind of phytoplankton, and also bacteria. And the level of eutrophication depends upon bacteria or algae blooms, and of course, the bacterial proliferation being an issue. And some studies have highlighted some benchmarks for the classification of lake water ecosystems. And these parameters will depend upon both human activities, but also on natural phenomena, uh, which some people should summarize as climate change. And we have in our data the Copernicus Global Land Service lake water quality products. Um, these products offer a comprehensive centralized metric system for accessing water quality across lakes across the world, and it capture especially lakes beyond 50 hectares, and those were generated from optical sensors from Sentinel uh, satellite system, and the resolution varies between 100 and 300 meters, and we have a 10 days composite, and they could support a kind of near real time monitoring, but also they could help us to trace the properties of our lakes uh, in the past. And using this set, you could understand the water reflectance, the turbidity, total sediment matter, chlorophyll-a concentration, trophic state index, floating cyanobacteria risk. And this is very important to monitor the eutrophication, the ecological health, even some harmful phenomena like algae blooms in the river. And we start from 2000 to nowadays, and this is a good data set to understand the long-term water quality in a given water body. And this has been very useful for scientific studies, especially in Europe and Africa. Of course, those products are well georeferenced using some grids. They have some well documented metadata, and they were validated. Um, and of course, they are improved over time, and adding especially atmospheric corrections, but also some retrieval algorithms. And the Africa has decided to make these datasets available for the African continent. And now, using our sandbox, we can use this dataset to understand the water quality. And of course, we can also perform further analysis to investigate lake dynamics, monitor change, and support evidence-based water resources management. Our use case should be Lake Volta in Ghana. When I was checking that this is the most important dam across the globe, and it provides most of the Ghana's electricity. I found that it's almost a third of the area of Rwanda as my country, and it's huge. And the resolution, as I said, it varies from 100 meter to 300 meter, and we actually each decade we have a 10 days composite. And from these 5 datasets, the third, the, all of them could help to identify the turbidity, the trophic set index, and the surface frequency of the lake, but the only the two you can see, especially the recent in 2024, they can help us to go further and assess the chlorophyll-a, the turbidity matter, the cyanobacteria risk, and also the quality of floods. We can go and see how each dataset works, and you can see this is the lake water quality version 1 that starts from 2019 to 2024. It could be able to monitor the turbidity, trophic state index, and surface frequency of water, and they are always updated 4 days after each decade. With that, we have them each every 14 days. And of course, they could help us to understand the trends in water bodies, in water quality, and to inform some decisions related to the management of lake water ecosystems. And if you can see from this set, you can understand the turbidity. Our dam is more turbid in the northern western part, while you can see if you go to the trophic state, I mean, the same area shows a high level of eutrophication in general. And we have the second product, which is lake water quality. That starts from 2024, and at the resolution of 100 meter. Actually, it's an improvement of the previous one, and this always is provided each 10 days. And of course, we can monitor parameters like turbidity, chlorophyll concentration, and also the total matter in our lake water body. And it was improved using some retrieval algorithms and also some atmospheric corrections, and could help us to monitor the near real-time environmental conditions of lake water ecosystem in a given water body with the continent. Once again, if we try to see how our water body is behaving, you can see that the level of eutrophication is almost uniform, especially the southern part, which is less uh, trophic if compared to other parts. But if you go to the turbidity, that the level of turbidity in 2025 was a little bit higher in our Volta lake. So there are products which is a little bit outdated. That was started from 2002, 2012 at 300-meter resolution and with a 10 days composite helps us to understand all these phenomena. And it's a way of tracing back the uh, quality of a given uh, lake over time. And if we try to use it for Lake Volta, we can see that the same northeastern western parts was a little bit turbid, while overall in the past the level of eutrophication was higher in the same lake. And you can see the same uh, lake monitored using the version of 2016 to 24 and also at resolution of 300-meter. And this project starts from April 2016 to October 2024. It's very recent, and it can enable us to monitor the ecosystem health and also be useful for people working in various environments, especially in academia and also some NGO governments dealing with lake water ecosystems. And if you see, it shows that the same now western part of the lake is more turbid, and also the level of uh, eutrophication is a little bit higher across the whole lake. And this was for from for the month of October 2024. Last products start from 2024 to nowadays with the 10 days composite and at resolution of 300-meter. And this has more the power to add more indicators, especially the profile-A, the TSM, the cyanobacteria risk, and also the quality flag. And it's a way to monitor real-time freshwater ecosystems, and of course, a kind of supporting timely assessment of water clarity and the biological activity of lake. Of course, you access it each 14 days, just 4 days after each decade. And if you see, it is showing that the same northwestern part of the lake is more trophic and also is more turbid, and while the whole lake shows a high level of eutrophication. And this was an example, but the products accessible for the whole continent, you can keep working or searching or trying the methodology for your region. So for the Africa, if we go into a sandbox, you just need to have an account, you log in and enjoy the free computation capacity, and also you can either export the 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 raw data, statistics, and others. So if you go under the folder called datasets in our sandbox, in folder called datasets, you will find this notebook called GGLM, Lake Quality. And from this one, uh, uh, you can start doing your analysis. And this notebook is giving us access to the whole data sets. The 5 data sets are represented. Of course, it starts by the background, then the title, the data set you'll be using, the keywords, but also the background. Why do you need to monitor the water quality, and which data are going to use? And it shows us the specifications of each of the data sets, and of course the capabilities of each of the data sets, and of course try to highlight the time scale for each data set. And of course, we can start by inspecting each data set, how using this code, and whenever we start the analysis, we'll load the packages that we'll be using. And of course, we'll use this application, um, Lake Water Quality, while of course connecting to our data grid. And you should know the parameters for our study area, and either we can, for the extent, we can either upload a shell file showing the boundary of our study area, but we prefer to use also XY coordinates in the buffer zone, and this paper to denote our Lake Volta, as you can see, and and we can load the first data set, which is CGRS, 100-meter resolution. That's from 2019 to 2024. And of course, you can inspect how many time series. We have 3 time series, if you can see, and you can evaluate the results. And in terms of turbidity, the western part being more turbid, and also the trophication seems higher in the northern part. We can also load the second data set, 100-meter resolution from 2024 to nowadays. Steps remain the same. We have 3 times time series. Then also we can compare the level of electrification and also the level of turbidity. And overall, the level of electrification turbidity seems more or less equal. And you keep in mind that this sets have been improved, adding some geometric corrections and arithmetic corrections. And if we go to the third data set, that starts from 22 to 2012 at 300-meter resolution. It's a powerful tool to understand the patterns of the past for our lake water ecosystems, and we can load them. And when you plot, you can see that the now written part remains turbid. The same, the classification seems higher in this part, and also in the lake overall. So we can see also the part from 2016 to 2024, and at 300-meter resolution, this version 1, that's not very well improved. And when we run it, we can see, keeping the 3 time series, we can see that the level of turbidity seems higher in the same region, and while the level of electrification seems increasing. That was in 2024. And you can go to the last product at 300 meters, and while we try to inspect for the year 2025, we found that the northern part remains more turbid, while overall the level of electrification is increasing in our study area, and of course with the several impacts on the hydropower production and also on other ecological functions, even other economic water use. And to go back to the presentation, so this notebook is a very user-friendly way uh, to to access lake water quality datasets in the Africa Sandbox environment, and you can perform uh, further analysis to have more insights into on the lake conditions and ecosystem dynamics, and we can understand season trends and identify unusual events like algal blooms. And of course, you can even compare lakes among and between among themselves. And of course, we can add more data sets like rainfall, land cover, population density, uh, the management of catchments, just to understand the drivers of water quality change, and also uh, to compare lake water quality across various regions, even at national scales, and of course, enabling a better understanding of spatial variability as far as lake water quality is concerned. So this presentation is just a small portion of the work we are doing. Um, you can visit our website. There are a lot of use cases. You can visit also our social media, especially our YouTube channel, where you can find the recordings of our presentations, and also have an online learning platform. So far, we have 10 courses available in French and English. It's free. You do it at your own pace, and you can get certificates. Every week, we meet and discuss um, about new products and services via the Africa platforms, but also if a new use case that was successful and you want to share it with the audience, feel free to to contribute. And also, can we thank all our partners um, who have been there financially or technically to make this work very successful. And of course, for your feedback, please scan the QR code. You can have a questionnaire after which you can get reach out to us. And of course, uh, my email, and also Kenneth Kenneth's email always available just to support our users across the continent. So once again, I thank you, and and also I'm also pleased to share with you our user guide. The Africa has a user guide that shows you the products we have. There are more than this. We have a lot of products and services, the platforms we have, and different ways to access uh, the Africa services and the datasets. And allow me to share this in the chat. So thank you, everyone, and for comments, intervention. You are the most welcome.